how open are we to one another and to individuals that we don't really know to be welcome at table? And what I mean by table is not inviting people in to have dinner with you. What I'm talking about table is that this and dinner tables and those types of celebrations indicate some sort of an intimacy with the people that you are gathering around the table, that you know them, and that for some reason or another they are valuable to you so that you are inviting them to come and to attend. That type of intimacy is, I think, what Jesus is sort of shocking us with today. Are we willing to be intimate and to be open, to everyone that we encounter, whether or not they're valuable for us or not, whether or not we get something back from them or not? And I would dare say in our relationships, we generally try to choose and be in relationship with people that, one, are either brought to us, by marriage or friendships, and so we make a commitment, or we're connected to people that we feel somehow can benefit us or help us along our life's journey, or quite frankly, just out of our need and desire, we end up in relationships. But Jesus is asking us here, that's all the same reasons you would invite someone to your table. What about the table of your heart? And are you open and accepting to anyone to come and be part of that and to celebrate that and to be that intimate to you and actually recognize that you may never see them again and they may never repay you and they may never come back again? Are you willing to be more like God in your unconditional love despite any type of return or recompense for what it is that we've given? And I think that is always going to be the challenge of the gospel, to consider that, Jesus truly has become humanity, engages humanity, suffers, dies for humanity, promises us everlasting life, bestows on us grace, an invitation to be as intimate with the Father as we want to be, the only limitation being ourselves. The challenge then is, how much are we willing to accept and to recognize that when we stumble along the way, and by the way, we do, all the time, probably every day, even in the midst of that, God still sees us with love and compassion, with righteousness and grace, even though we're never able to fully live up to the expectations of what it would mean to be in a true relationship with the Almighty and the Creator. Are we willing in some part of our lives to do the same with one another? And this goes to the workplace. It goes to people that we live with in neighborhoods. It goes to people that we see in parking lots. It goes into, the stores. I've shared this all the time. I think, one of the first things as Christians that I think we are challenged to do is simply to begin recognizing people and encountering people. The woman, the checkout girl, you start a conversation with them and they don't know what to do because no one ever talks to them, Everyone just wants them to do what they need to do, bag my stuff, I want to get out of here. Where if you start a conversation, and Arthur says this all the time, is there anyone you don't talk to? Well, no, not really, because I sort of feel there's some value in that. One, it's my personality, but I also like to think in some regards that by encountering people and talking to people, you're respecting them and you're giving them the precious gift of your time and attention. Those are little things that we can do that would really, impact and change the world. I say all that the day after another fatal shooting in Texas, where we realized that an individual or two driving around in a car was just indiscriminately and shooting individuals, and I believe 5 are dead and 21 injured, or whatever the number might be now. So we really do live in this paradoxical time period where there has to be a choice for us who are Christians. If we start living up to the values that the Master laid out, if we follow what the Master did, if we actually in small ways begin to make that part of our life, can we change the world? Yes. I mean, one of the struggles really is, and one of the challenges, and I used to preach about this a lot a couple of years back, but I still think it's true. I believe the world is the way it is now because we as Christians just have not done a very good job exemplifying the Master. We just haven't done a very good job exemplifying love We just haven't done a very good job in our institutions, being accepting, loving, compassionate. Institutions, religious Christian institutions, have limitations on who could be a member, who can't be a member, who could celebrate at this table, who could receive at the table, who doesn't, who's welcome, who's not. I mean, there are institutions that go by how much you donate on a Sunday. I mean, some of that stuff, but all of that, none of that is found in the Gospels. What we always find are stories like this, that if we sit and take a look at what Jesus is really talking about, is really unnerving, because it's challenging us to be fully human. And to be fully human means to be fully compassionate, fully loving. If Jesus is the example of the completeness of humanity, of what we should look like when we are complete and fulfilled as human beings, then that means we are meant to be people of love and compassion, because that's what the Master was. And so if that's the case, that's the goal. And the world, I think more than ever, needs we who are Christians to step up and to be the people and to respond to the call and the challenge. And it's not always easy. We know people aren't easy. We know being in a relationship with people aren't easy. There's a lot of people you're going to say hi to or want to engage or talk to that are going to be nasty. That's just the way it is. You're going to leave here, you're going to get to the light, and people are going to hunk. They just are. It's just the way it's going to be. But I think we as Christians, as followers of Jesus Christ, as disciples, we need to make a choice to be different. And different is exactly what Jesus was. And different is exactly what he teaches. So as we leave this place today, we have to ask ourselves, can we be a little bit more inviting to the table of our hearts? Anyone and everyone who we encounter. Can we treat them as a dear friend even though they may not be so? And are we willing to give without expecting anything back? And I'll tell you a little something about the giving and not getting anything back. And it's part of our history, Donna and I anyway. And I'm not saying it's some sort of a recipe for success. I just think that when you end up giving things away, you end up getting blessed all the more. And I think there's something about the ability or the sacrifice of giving that somehow, and I'm not saying that God looks at that and gives you back, but somehow there is something that happens that it just all comes back greater than what you've given it away for. And I'm not talking about just material things. I'm talking about love as well. We find that when we love, we find more love, in our life. And maybe what it does is it just simply sensitizes us to really appreciate, the love that we have. God bless you. Hi, just wanted to thank you so much for watching the video. We hope that what you're coming away with is inspirational and a guide for your life. We're really glad you could be part of our community. Please be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so that you can be continually updated with our new music videos, our new sermons, our new services that are published, so that you could stay connected with us. Thanks so much again. God bless you.